Welcome back to Joe's Stunner Boxing. Before the Chisora versus Fury third fight, a lot of people, myself included, were saying, I wonder if Chisora was to win, whether it would be a bigger upset than Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson. And I think it probably would have been. It wouldn't have been as shocking, but all things considered, it would have been, yeah, it would have been, for those in the know, for those that understand boxing, for those that can see beyond the sort of hype and the superficiality of a boxer's public persona, I think it would have been a bigger upset. But I had to think about it. Now, there is a fight where I don't even have to think about it, regarding would it be a bigger shock? Would it be a bigger upset than Tyson Douglas? Yes, that fight is, of course, NAOYA INOUE versus Paul Butler, which is due to take place on December the 13th in Japan. Going to have to find out a way to watch that because I think I'm at work. But anyway, I managed to blag some time to watch the last one against Donaire. But if you know boxing, you know about Inoue, an astounding fighter. I hate judging fighters when their careers are going on. I think you have to let the dust settle, let someone properly retire, and then you make a full assessment. But it is difficult not to think of NAOYA INOUE as the best fighter Japan's ever produced, even better than fighting Harada. I can remember having a conversation with someone, I can't remember who it was, about this, and this person said to me, I wonder if it was Mark from Unrivaled, his now defunct YouTube channel, it might have been him, but he said, could NAOYA INOUE beat George Kambosos? And Kambosos at the time was undefeated, just beating Lopez. And, you know, the fact that you have to pause for thought, that says all you need to know about NAOYA INOUE, who is just a brilliant, brilliant fighter. Magnificent pressure fighter, razor-sharp punches, controls the distance perfectly, extremely fast and accurate, and doesn't seem to waste a single punch. Now, INOUE, you know, I'll go over a few of his wins, which are really shocking. Not shocking, just brilliant. One Payano, he did him in a round in, what was it, 50, 60, 70 seconds, whatever it was. He did Jamie McDonald in a round as well, but McDonald looked like an Auschwitz survivor. He looked absolutely appalling on the scales and didn't last, I think he lasted about 2 minutes, minute and a half, something like that. Nieves, he beat in, this is INOUE beat Nieves back in 2017. You know, it's the manner in which you get your work done sometimes that impresses, and INOUE is just incredible. I mean, the way he got rid of Donaire in their rematch in 2 rounds, had him on the floor and then completely just smashed right through him. And that's Donaire, and I know Donaire was pushing 40, but come on. Donaire had looked like he discovered the fountain of youth and just got smashed to bits. So it was an amazing, amazing fight, amazing performance by INOUE. And there have been occasions when people have taken him, you know, longer than you thought they were going to, like Jason Maloney took him 7 rounds. I think he got stopped at the end of the 7th, if memory serves. And then the other guy, Arlan Depain, who I'd never previously heard of, he took INOUE 8 rounds. Is Depain Filipino, or am I thinking of Das Marinas is Filipino? Anyway, I can't remember. But these were people that, yeah, they took INOUE a few rounds, but they never looked like winning. They never threatened to win. INOUE, to me, is as much of a killer as Mike Tyson appeared to be before he fought Douglas. Just destroying people, not just beating them, but just crushing them, obliterating them. And then in the opposing corner, you have got, by the way, INOUE, of course, is IBF, WBA, WBC champ. And then in the opposing corner, you have the WBO champ, who is Paul Butler. And Butler, when you think about it, 34 wins, 2 defeats, 15 KOs in his wins. He's been stopped once by the recently disgraced Zolani Tete, but that was essentially a one-punch knockout, which can happen to people. And his other defeat was to Emmanuel Rodriguez, who at the time was 17-0. Unanimous decision, wide, very wide. I think Butler was on the floor a couple of times. But as far as the world to the WBO title goes, this is Butler's 2nd reign as a belt holder, a champion of sorts. And he won it from Jonas Sultan. I think that was an interim title, and then it got elevated to full status. Don't ask me how these things work. I mean, I despair at these ruling bodies. But Jonas Sultan at the time was 18 wins, 5 defeats. All 5 had been on points, but nevertheless, he was very much beatable. And he was a substitute, actually. Butler beat him. Prior to that, he had a split decision 10-round win over at the 12-4-1 Wilbaldo Garcia Perez, who I wasn't familiar with, but he had some defeats on his record. I think he had 12 wins, 4 defeats. And again, tough guy, had never been stopped, but the sort of guy, the second tier gatekeeper type that Butler can handle. And Butler really hasn't done a great deal in recent years. I mean, since getting blown out by Tete, it's been stop-start, apart from the Emmanuel Rodriguez fight, where he got widely outpointed. I think he was over early in the first round. But it does. How do you think about giving Butler a chance? What is the angle? Butler's also 34, and Inoue is the younger man. He's 29, so he's probably at his absolute peak. I just can't see a way that Butler wins this fight. And the purpose of me doing this video is really, and it's not to give a preview or anything, because believe me, this year has been a disaster for my predictions. I was absolutely convinced that Savannah Marshall would beat Clarissa Shields. She lost on points. You know, I thought Chocolatito would beat Estrada in their rubber match last weekend. Didn't happen, although brilliant fight, 2 brilliant warriors. I've just had a very bad time with predictions, so I'm reluctant to do a preview of the fight, but does it need a preview? I mean, most of the discussion seems to be, does Paul Butler get out of the first round, not does Paul Butler win? Is this going to be a one-rounder? And I don't give Butler more of a chance than 50-50 of getting out of that first round, because Naoya Inoue starts fast. He's out of the blocks double quick. And Butler doesn't necessarily start fast. He likes to work his way in, get a feel for the opponent, and then, you know, do his thing after 3-4 rounds, his engine gets going. My prediction is that Inoue will beat Butler in 1 round. And I'm struggling to think of, I mean, maybe it goes more rounds. Maybe Butler lasts into the middle rounds or the late rounds. But winning, I cannot think of a single way that he can win. If he had a big punch, of course, there's a chance of that. But he's only got 14 KOs in his 32 wins. So 34 wins. I think it's 34 wins and 14 KOs. That's not a big knockout ratio. It's not like he can blast Inoue out of there. Although if you catch someone correctly, they might go. But no, what do you think? Because I don't think Butler is going to last long at all. I think this is pretty much an execution, and it's in Japan as well. Talk about having a hard task ahead of you. But I do give Butler one thing, and that is immense credit for having the guts to go over there. I mean, this is a unification for all the marbles fight. Not unification, undisputed fight. If you're a real fighter, you don't turn that down. You do not turn that down. When Deontay Wilder turned down over $100 million to fight Anthony Joshua for all the belts, that tarred him, marred him, however you want to phrase it, in my eyes, a real lot. If Fury plays silly buggers and doesn't go anywhere near Usyk, or vice versa, then to me that puts a black mark against them. Ultimately, you should want to be the undisputed champ. And Paul Butler, with absolutely everything, you know, against him, is taking on this challenge. And I give him massive credit for that. Because this challenge is not a case of climbing Everest. It's a case of you've got to sprint up it. There'll be no chance to sort of walk up a little bit, sit down, get your breath back, walk up a bit more. And the next thing you know, within time, you're at the summit. Maybe Butler thinks, I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to try and survive the early rounds, fiddle my way through them, avoid the bombs, and then maybe start pinching rounds after 4 or 5 and then reach the final bell. Would he get the decision in Japan? Who knows? Who knows? You got to wonder, haven't you? But I'm looking forward to the fight, just to watch Inoue fight. I'll watch Inoue fight anyone. He's such a fantastic fighter. Good luck to Paul Butler, though. What do you think? Give me some opinions here, okay? Tell me how you think Paul Butler can win, if you think he can win. I never like saying, well, a guy can't win, because you're talking about one man against another. But the mountainous task ahead of him is just too much as far as I can see. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've missed something. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the like button, do all that good stuff. It always helps the channel, and I'm really, really grateful for your time. And if you do that, you know, we've got over 500 videos for you to watch if you're interested. So yeah, let me know your opinion. Good luck, Paul Butler. I have a feeling you may need it.